Hi, and welcome to A Level Business at Strode College. Such a shame we're not going to get to meet you in person, but instead you will get to listen to my voice. And I will talk you through the course, and hopefully I'll be able to answer any questions that you have bubbling away in preparation for September. You will have one teacher, so it may be either myself, Rebecca Kane, or Catherine Godwin, who will be teaching you next year. So the Business A-Level course is a 2-year course, and what this means is that you will be assessed at the end of 2 years. You will have 3 2-hour exams, and there is no qualification at the end of the first year, so you are committed for the full 2 years. It's very different to GCSE, so you don't have to have prior subject knowledge to study this. There will be some basic things if you have done GCSE business, like some terminologies that will be familiar to you, but for those of you that haven't, you really do not need to worry. At the start of every new topic, we give lots and lots of explanation to make sure that you understand them and they are put into context in terms of what it is we're studying. It's an essay-based subject, so you will need to be able to write long essays in timed conditions. We will do lots of practice with that throughout the course, and we will teach you how to structure them also. Current affairs is something that's very important, so you do need to have an awareness. So basically be reading newspapers, watching the news, and just seeing what's going on with the world. And we'll talk about different things that are going on a weekly basis and how that can have a knock-on effect to businesses. The exam board that we use is AQA, and in order to check your progress, we do have frequent testing. So we're not just relying on your exam marks at the end of the 2 years. You'll have an idea in terms of how you're progressing, and we'll give you regular feedback to help you improve. So this slide shows the units covered. So we have 6 key topics that we cover in the first year, and then a further 4 topics that we cover in the second year. So if you just want to take a second to look at those. You will see from that the key words that you see for the first year are decision making. Okay, so we look at the different types of decisions that businesses make, what might lead them to make that decisions, and what the potential impact could be. For the second year, we look at business strategy. So we are looking at where the business may want to go in the long term and the things that it will put in place for that. And again, that is building on the content from year 1. In the exams, you can be assessed across any of that information. Okay, the papers don't discriminate between any topics. You can be asked any of them in any of the papers. So it's really important to understand the links between them. So that brings me on to the assessment part. So once we've covered all of the specification, there will be time for revision and revision activities to master and perfect your exam techniques, because what you have coming up at the end of the course are 3 exams. Okay, each of those exams are 2 hours each, and as I said, each exam covers all content. So for example, paper 1 isn't just topics 1 to 3, and paper 2 is not topics 4 to 6. You can be assessed across any of it, and as you'll find as we go through the course, each of the topics can link together. Nothing is standalone. So therefore it's really, really important that you have really good attendance, you keep a really good set of notes, and you are just constantly reading over the information and what you've learnt in class. There is no coursework for this. Um, we do mini projects sometimes and things to enhance your learning, but there is no coursework that is considered for marking by the exam board. Um, the exams have a series of multiple choice questions. They have some short answer questions, but each of the exam papers does have essay-based questions, which is why we put such a focus on that, because they do make up a large part of the marks. So the subject expectations and what you will need to bring with you when you come into class. You will need to have an A4 folder or file. This is so that you can keep your notes safe. File dividers, so that you can divide things per topic. You may also want to have sections for, say, exam writing skills or a current affairs section, basically where you can keep an organised record of the studying that you've done. You will need to have A4 line paper, preferably with holes punched in so it's easy to put into your folder or file if that's what you have, and you will need to have a calculator. You cannot use a phone calculator in class. It doesn't have to be an expensive one, just a basic calculator where you can add. We don't use any of the scientific formulas that appear on some calculators. Okay, so you don't need to spend too much on that. You will need to have pens, pencils, ruler, rubber. We do some diagram drawing and a pencil case. You would also benefit from having your own set of highlighters as well. Over the holidays, you need to complete a summer assignment. So this is a combination of tasks to help get you started and to help you get a feel for the course. You will also find that many of these key terms and many of these theorists are things that are covered early on in the lesson. So you need to complete those and bring those to your first business lessons. What we also have on the homework sheet is some enrichment tasks. So you need to choose 3 of those to do. So you do all of the core tasks and 3 of the enrichment tasks. What we'd like you to do is to take notes when you're completing the tasks, and we prefer it if they could be handwritten. The reason for this is because in the exam you will be handwriting, and in class you will be handwriting. So you need to be able to practice your skills in that area as much as possible. So why not start now? The only exception would be is if you normally use a laptop in lesson times and therefore in exams, then it is okay to complete that typed. But otherwise it should be handwritten. Or, sorry, if you have a scribe in exams, you can then type as well. The work can be found on the college website. So, thank you so much for listening to and watching the presentation today. What else can you do? Well, between now and September, keep a close eye on world events in the news. You could maybe even start a current affairs diary. So keep a record of all the interesting stories that you read in relation to business, and think about what that could mean for different organisations and their customers and their owners and their employees. You know, the list is endless. Have a really good summer break. We know it's been a very strange time for you, but really try and make sure that you relax, and we're really looking forward to meeting you in the new term. So stay safe and look after yourselves, and Kathy and I will see you then. Bye.